Hello, friends, visitors, SKELEVADERITES, theme park enthusiasts, and folks that love immersive and interesting experiences. I'm at a little park near our house, and you hear that? That's the sound of construction. And I love construction sites. I think it's the idea that something new is being built. And what that means is that this new place is going to be occupied by people. They're going to go in, they're going to use it either for work or for entertainment purposes, whatever it might be. Playground behind me. And here is the construction site. It's hard to see in the fog. There are people working over there and I want to respect them. The reason why I'm here and I'm wanting to just hear the sounds of people working hard, building something for public use or for private use, whatever it might be. It's exciting to me and I admire that kind of work. Folks, if you're watching this channel, it's because you're interested in Disneyland and theme parks and immersive experiences. And I just watched the most incredible documentary. It's called Disneyland Handcrafted. It's over on Disney Plus, but you can also watch it on YouTube. And I don't know if you're gonna have this experience. I don't know if it was just a fluke. We have Disney Plus with commercials. We have the more affordable version of Disney Plus. And when I watched it on YouTube, no commercials. So maybe that's the setting that they chose. And I was able to watch it that way. It's an absolutely amazing documentary. Look here, I'm at the little stage area where school and local presentations happen when the weather's nice. I love things like this. This used to be a drinking fountain, and look, 1912. That's so cool. Look at how this is designed and carved out of granite, no less. Little things like this make me so happy. Anyways, I'm going to take you into my office right now because we're going to talk a little bit about the Disneyland Handcrafted documentary. Hopefully you'll all watch it. You've probably watched it already if you're a fan of this stuff. Enough of this chit chat for now. Let's head inside and get lost.
This is where the world of today is left behind. For now we enter the land of yesterday and tomorrow, and of course the land of fantasy.
If you're watching this, you don't really need to be talked into watching Disneyland Handcrafted. My other channel is primarily focused on Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, 80s pop culture, and making stuff. So if you're familiar with SKELEVADER, you know that I'm completely obsessed with how creatives attach themselves to certain IPs that encourage the expansive use of our imaginations. And so on this channel here, we get to delve deep into the arena of immersive locations. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about one of the most spectacular immersive locations, Disneyland. But we're going to be talking about Disneyland a lot on this channel. In this particular episode, we are going to be talking about this amazing documentary, Disneyland Handcrafted. Now, if you haven't watched it yet, I've got an interesting approach that I would suggest. This documentary really gives us the perspective as if you are there, almost as if you're working on the park. And trust me, when you watch this documentary, it's going to be a little bit terrifying. This is pre-OSHA. There are situations that are precarious, dangerous, and these creative individuals, they are certainly of an era. I love seeing that too. But here's my suggestion. I'll get to the most important thing here that I want to suggest to you all. This book, Disney's Land by Richard Snow, it's a nearly 400-page book, 369 pages in this edition. And it's incredible. Walt Disney and the Invention of the Amusement Park That Changed the World. When I read this book a couple of years ago, it absolutely blew my mind. I loved how detailed the descriptions are of every stage of Walt Disney having the initial idea and inspiration for the park, of preparing for this park, and everything that came before, in the middle, and just a little bit after. And it really, really gives us an up close and personal look at all of these processes. So definitely read this book by Richard Snow. Then skip the other documentaries and other things that you might find about the creation of Disneyland on Disney Plus or elsewhere, and go straight to Disneyland Handcrafted. Then from there, after you watch Disneyland Handcrafted, I highly recommend then that you watch Walt Disney's Disneyland Pre-Opening Report, you watch the Imagineering story, and then you just continue to gobble up whatever you can gobble up. I really think that taking these particular steps will help you gain a fully, almost tactile appreciation and understanding of everything that went into the creation of this singularly fantastic, immersive theme park experience. So there are people smoking in Disneyland Handcrafted. You see people not wearing gloves, people scaling down structures without any ropes, people being transported by cranes, their backs being scratched by heavy equipment. Often these people working on the park are having a good time, and they are in panic mode. There's a very small period of time from when Walt Disney bought the property, the planning, and then the building of Disneyland before it opened up. And it's really interesting because they show just how unpolished the park was on opening day. And that to me is beautiful too. There's a lot of honesty in this documentary. Leslie Iwerk, who is the granddaughter of Iwerk, who was basically Walt Disney's key animator and partner at the beginning stages of Walt Disney Productions. Leslie Iwerk made a great movie here. The sound design, the ambient soundtrack, all of it works. Some things that really stood out to me that I loved was watching the sculpting of the brickwork, using concrete, chipping away at it, the manipulation of the concrete on the Jungle Cruise with the backside of water, the trials and tribulations of filling the rivers of America with water, the digging up of the substructures, the pre-opening of the park with all the invited guests, and then the opening of the park, and seeing the faces of the people who are in the park on that opening day, and seeing that some of them are a little bit hot and stressed out, and some of them are just elated with excitement. You are literally, as the spectator of this documentary, on the ground floor, watching with the people, watching with the workers. It's almost like you are doing the work with them. And as a creator myself, if you don't know, I'm an artist. I have done a lot of oil paintings and sculptures, but I also make large-scale play sets for primarily Masters of the Universe collectors, and I also just recently finished my Matterhorn build at the Z scale for a Disneyland enthusiast. And I love the creative act, and I'm absolutely intrigued by the making of stuff, the process, the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the joy. Finally, I need to say that I think it's really important to remember that every room and space that we walk into was built by people from different backgrounds. If we walk into a Walmart or a Target or a Save Mart or a Ross or a mall or just someone's house, who helped build these things? And it's important to remember that the places that we enjoy were built by a diverse group of people. And it's also really important to remember that joy takes effort. If I wake up in the morning and I feel a little bit down, I know that I need to put in the effort to find the best aspect of the day. If that just means that I have to pause for a moment, take a look around, and remind myself that everything around me is interesting, then I will do that. But I have to remind myself. because it's very easy. It's much easier to let stuff get to us and bring us down. It does take work and it does take effort for us to think about the positive things. So watch this movie. It's incredible. It will remind you of the joy of building, the joy of creativity, the joy of work, trial, error, effort, hours upon hours of mistakes and triumphs. It's wonderful. So, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Welcome to the new channel. Please click like, please subscribe. Definitely make comments down below so I can see what your thoughts are in regard to this information. And then also consider becoming a Patreon. But most importantly, I want to thank you for being here. Enough of this chit chat. I'll see you in the next video.